Bum, 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 bum. Hey everybody, that's been a little while, sorry about that. Things have happened, cool things. Anyway, we are at the Nurburgring. The very bright white HDR DirectX 12 ray tracing enabled Nurburgring for Automobilista. Actually R-Factor 1 conversion from about 10 years ago. In our McLaren F1, which the bearded man dropped through the chimney here. Which is not official Automobilista content, of course. It's just a car I made the physics of a long time ago, and now we're at the snow here. Reason for doing this, well, it's a huge amount of fun, as we will hopefully see. Slightly terrifying, though. Jimmy made a little video about the McLaren F1 at the Nurburgring in the snow, which was good fun and all that, but the pleb, hardcore snob sim racer in me saw that and thought, well, you know, that's simcade at best. That's not even, that's actually quite arcade. It's incorrect. It's wrong. It shall be rectified, yes, in this video. So, what's the problem? The problem is grip. We have about none of it on snow. And that feels weird in a sim because you don't have that seat of the pants feel, and when people complain about sim racing, it's often that it feels a bit like, oh, it's on ice and all that sort of thing, even though you're pulling like 1.5 G through a turn, which is not quite pulling your face off, but it's significant. Not having that in the sim makes it sort of feel slidey and low grip. However, sim snobbery at its finest means only the real grip will do for me. So what we have here is a McLaren F1 on pretty decent winter tires. There is not a huge amount of data, but you get about 0.3, 0.4 G of grip in cornering and in braking. And if this was a four-wheel drive car, we would also get that in acceleration, but it's two-wheel drive, so we don't get that. We get about half of that. So we're always grip limited. Just reflecting this moment, should I do this? Yep, I should. Oh boy, we've already crashed. There is no gear where you can put the power down. Especially going uphill, where the gravity just pulls you down, and then going downhill is... It's easier to gain speed, but way harder to get rid of it. So when we're going downhill, or when there's banking in a corner and it falls away, you're just sort of like a bobsled guy. But at the end of the track, it's just a sled and Bob is gone. That's a Seinfeld joke, actually. Sorry for stealing that badly. So it is real tricky. What's happened over all these years of sim racing? This is Automobilista. First time I'll try to be informative and quick at the same time. What will go wrong? First time doing snow driving in Automobilista. Last time I did it was with the Honda NSX with R-Factor, and there are now some real physics differences. Oh, that's very close to the lock stops, which is scary because you cannot apply any more opposite lock than that. That's nice. The tire model in R-Factor is a little different than in Automobilista. There's slightly better force combining, as well as, of course, 6 or 7 years since the last video at the snow, just of general getting the hang of things a little bit better. Oh, downhill, braking. Very quiet, and then just a little bit of throttle, and it feels like something that could get out of control real easy. And the last video with the NSX was with actual street tires, like asphalt tires. Oh, slow down, slow down. This is lockup, actually. Am I going to make it? Yes. Where I just lowered the grip levels of the tarmac tires, but all the other behaviors were tarmac-like. Oh boy. And here I've used the very little bit of winter tire data. Oh no, yeah, we're good, we're good. Winter tire data that I have to replicate what might be a little bit more realistic for a winter tire regarding how much slip and stuff you need. Oh, yeah, we're good. You can also see from my hard work at the steering wheel that I've not set the force feedback up to be super like automatic. Because you may remember I went to the track with Jimmy Broadbent a while ago. We drove some BMWs at Assen. And since this has a BMW engine, that makes the cars completely identical. I also drove it in the rain, which is just a slightly warmer version of snow, isn't it? So I literally done this because Assen is a racetrack, as is this. So completely identical to the experience I had in real life, this. Making me the perfect guy to judge the realism of the force feedback and everything. And it's, everybody says, like the real drivers say, it's not as communicative as it is, as you can set it up to be in a sim, where it pretty much does all the work for you. So yeah, in this case it will try and help me a little bit, but I still have to apply most of the corrections. I'm guided a little bit, but oh, we're going way too fast. This is scary. Crest means going downhill afterwards, which means having no grip afterwards. So here we're sliding down the hill, really sideways, and then it's just a matter of luck if I can continue this. Clutch in, it's all all good. That was really scary on the limit there, because there was no more grip available to slow it down. Let's just briefly look at that from a TV cam, so I can catch my breath. It's very bright white. Always traction limited. So this one's going to be interesting. I remain sideways, starting here. Really at the limit, slowing down, braking, and then thinking I lost it, press the clutch, but we're actually good. And then powering out with about 4 horsepower. So that's the sort of dance that we're going to be doing in this video. Hello, can I... Yeah, I'd like to drive now again, please. Yes, thank you. Very low grip, downhill, so sketchy. And a lot of the work with the force feedback I have to do myself. And it makes it a little trickier. Plus the car has 1100 degrees of steering rotation. So there is more, oh boy, steering lock to control. Making it a little tricky and a bit of a workout, just for all that correction and stuff you have to do. I have pedal bars, they won't go all the way up, it's just wheel spin. And since going sideways like this makes me forget where I am and what I've said and didn't say, I don't think I've mentioned that. Oh, we're going... See, that's snow, so we can just as well go there. It's just a bit thicker, so it slows us down a little. Oh, almost looping it. All that wheel spin, you can just floor it in 6th gear and you get... Oh, can I slow it down? Locking up, locking up. I don't think we'll make it. Can we make it, please? So this is the limit. This is the limit of grip. That speed I'm taking here. Why am I doing this? Tricky downhill section. The Nurburgring is mainly tricky sections though, so carrying a fair bit of speed in, finding the track limits. Oh, with that will happen more often. It's hard to stop it from happening. And now I'm going too fast. I think I'm just going too fast here. But we're good. Wheel spin is interesting though. The more wheel spin you get in like a super high gear, you can imagine those rear tires spinning like crazy has some effect, and it actually stabilizes the car in yaw. So whether we're gonna crash on the left or crash on the right, how quickly the car decides between those things. That's sort of the speed at which it points at things that you don't want to crash into. Being such a mid-engined car, it tends to want to change direction quite quick, but that wheel spin acts like a gyroscope. So even though more wheel spin typically means the rear end has less grip, cornering grip, it also stabilizes the car a bit by making it a big gyroscope. That's interesting as well. So yeah, just amazing that all that stuff is in the physics engine. Anyway, I'm really talky. It should be more about the driving. Random shift to 4th gear. Approaching the long uphill section. My favorite way to turn is by Scandinavian flick. So here I'm gonna point it to the right and then to the left and then give it a bit of a dollop. Oh, that was enthusiastic dollop. Now uphill. We can have any revs we want in any gear we want. We're just so limited by the grip. Only 2 of the 4 tires are trying to push us forward, and we're going uphill and there is no grip. So this is probably about the maximum I can do. It's already sort of sliding, and then any more throttle just becomes a sideways thing. So let's flick it to the left. There. And that weird feeling of stability as well as grip loss at the back from adding more revs. So we're not actually going very fast, it's just the engine doing a few revs. And now we've gained some speed and this corner isn't flat out, so I hope I can do a bit of a right and then a bit of a left. On the lock stops, very scary. There's no more extra margin there. Crest means danger. So beyond the crest the car will go light. So I'm trying to go very slowly and get it pointed to the right. Oh, big curb. Almost invisible behind the HDR ray tracing there. Bit of a downshift, not really needed. You just get a little... You're doing so few revs that sometimes being in too high a gear makes it a little harder to control the wheel spin. Very steep approaching the carousel. Hello. Well, approaching it at weird angles. It's a McLaren F1, it's not a drift car, so you run out of steering lock at some point. Can we drift this? I think we can, we should be able to, he says. Just stay low. Yes. Still uphill, so all the revs are just wasted on wheel spin. Time it so we point to the right and then point to the left. Oh, that's late, that's too late. I think, oh, this is going to be expensive. This is real steep. You don't want to come to a stop here because it's very difficult to get going. That's how steep the Nurburgring is. And also something you cannot really see in a video. But if you've been there, walk the track as I did at some point, the panting and shortness of breath you'll have after a few corners is quite dramatic. So, it is so steep that you can almost not get up the hill in the snow, and that's only at a few places, but it just gives you some perspective there. Now we're downhill and scared. Gonna third gear. Because downhill the margin for error is even smaller. Slides tend to last even longer. I hope I'm not gonna spin here because I need to keep some speed to make it up. The snowbanks have a bit more sort of, they grab you a little bit. Can be helpful. Oh, slow it down. Slow it down. Oh, we're not gonna make it. We are not gonna make it. Oh. If you were looking for a reason why people with McLaren F1s don't drive them sideways in the snow at the Nurburgring, oh, YouTube corner, hello. I'll let somebody do the maths on the damage we've already caused. Skating up this hill. Actually, I thought I was here when just before the crash happened. Just not sure which corner I was. It all looks a bit bright. And when you're frightened, you tend to forget things like that. We get some drops, meaning we're gaining speed, but there's a corner coming. Oh, left first, then right. Oh, it's on lock stops. I'm on the lock stops. Will I? Yeah. Just about gathering it up. So I like fourth gear in this medium. Well, it's all low speed, but in these gears, oh yeah, gaining speed. Big curves. Oh, it's like that bungee cord that's wound up and wants to slide the other way. Oh great, taking it a little easy here. Oh, that's easy, he says, on the lock stops. This second carousel is difficult to drift, so I think we're just going to go to the outside. I think left front is about in. We're about to head on the straight, which is actually not straight at all. Oh, oh. You had that eerie feeling when you approach the lock stops that you're gonna be in trouble. So, the straight. I said straight. Oh. No, 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 no. So we are currently doing about nearing 100 miles an hour, and this is the limit of acceleration, because any more throttle, it's just more wheel spin. Doing about 180. It's very floaty, like the back is always sliding. This is too fast, so a little flick there, and then just... Oh yes, oh yes. But now we are at an insane speed. A lot of speed to get rid of. Probably too much, but... I think we're making it. Oh, lock stops again. That's a big challenge, slowing it down from almost 200 kilometers an hour back to 40. Having about a third or less grip that you would normally expect. Oh boy. So already braking, because this is downhill. This little flick, it's... may appear like I'm a bit of a chicken, but it's so easy to end up in those hedges. Hedges, well, they're barriers since the 1970s, but... And here you gain speed, but this corner doesn't have the banking to keep you in. So we run quite wide despite trying to slow it down. Here on the brakes again, a little flick to the right and then to the left. Oh, yeah, we just about make that work. Yeah, it came around quickly, but on the lock stops again. Snowbank. Oh. Be a little careful with those dabs of throttle, because there are 600 horsepower dabs potentially. Alright. Flugplatz. Well, taking off will be hard. Fourth gear just for comedy effect. Oh yeah, a little sideways. Oh, is this too quick? We'll see. Throw it sideways. Oh boy, no, it's too quick, it's too quick. No, it's not, it's fine. It's just a new limit. And we hit the snowbank. That's a reassuring sound of being somewhere near the limit of the track. So, I think we are approaching 200 kilometers. Feels like 400 miles. Crest means upcoming death. Oh, I think this is now truly too fast. No, we're still sideways. We're still good. We're still good. Can we make it? Downshift. Still very sideways. Time it. Can we? No, no. No. Yes. No idea. Place your bets. We can. My life is complete now. That was fine. More downhill shenanigans. Gathering way more speed than you should. So, want to get sideways here. Oh, and this is understeer, that's terrible, but we might still make it. Wait, let it go, so that we time the 2 laps, 1 Scandinavian flick. No clickbait, oh! Yeah. Oh, let's not crash into whatever is back there. A little, you know, trying to think of a joke. And you're pointing at the barriers. Oh, I'm getting sweaty from this now. already gaining speed at a rate from going downhill a bit. And this is a deceptive corner. However, there is that snow on the edge. We can well, there's a limit to what you can do, but no, we're good. And that was completely intentional. Getting overconfident is so easy because you think, well, I made that. You know, how hard can it be? I'm doing 4 miles an hour in this corner. Let's try 8. And then you're 4 times dead. This is scary because my speed stays constant there just because of sliding down that hill. I'm not giving birth, I'm just really scared. You're not... That's fine, that's good. That's nothing to be scared about. Okay. Careful, careful. Oh. Yeah, no, that's good. More downhill. It's gonna go uphill soon, but that means we still have to... Oh, shit. This is... okay, and that's fine. Probably fine. Reasonable Scandinavian flick. Oh, it's lock stops time. I feel like I'm trying 1% harder than the first lap and making 100% more mistakes. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna roll up my sleeves. But that's probably gonna make me too angry and too hardcore. All the body hair showing and all that masculine stuff. We really don't need that. We need a bit of a feminine side to do this. Oh, he says. Overspeeding it completely. Where's my front wheels turning? Pointing. Okay, uphill again. Let's see. Relatively easy this. Uphill gives you a little bit of time to breathe. Just want to time this correctly so it points to the right. Wait, point to the left. Mostly wheel spin. There's no actual speed being done here. You have to get rid of some. Approaching crest of death number 2. Just slowing it down a bit. Being nice and sideways way before. Yeah, you see how far to the outside I'm sliding there, even though I'm going so slowly. Style strekker, so you have to use some style here. Lock stop style. That's lock stop style. That's a bit too much style. And yeah, that's a big difference. Like at those low speeds, I have to do the unwinding of the opposite lock because the force back helps, but isn't quick enough. Oh, quick enough. I'm quick enough here. Once you get the hang of drifting the carousel at the bottom like this, oh boy, it's kinda possible. Oh boy, over that curve. Yeah, we're good, that's fine. Approaching the special Christmas corner, ho 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 8. That's terrible, I know. You try think of jokes when you're leaving 5 skid marks at the Nurburgring. Downhill we go, just like the sense of humor. The track is now following the sense of humor. This is not terrible. This right-hander isn't, but then the left-hander feels like it could need about 25 degrees more banking. So I'm slowing it down while sideways. Going to run wide. Oh, we just about kept it out of the barriers. Now we have some understeer, quite rare. Problem with the understeer is it will turn explosively into oversteer. This is the corner that's coming up where I thought we were 2 corners further, so this is the one that needs more banking and we have to really slow down. It's so steep downhill. I might still not make it. Look how slow I'm going, and I'm going wider, wider, wider. Still trying to brake because it's just auto drive from the downhill. No, don't, please don't. Please keep going. I need the speed to go up the hill. Losing speed. Oh boy. Oh no. More understeer. Oh, let's show a bit of understeer for a change. On the lock stops over a blind crest. Life doesn't get any better or scarier than that. More downhill plunging. A little bit of dab of brakes. And this is like that wound up bungee cord that's waiting to kill you in the transitions. Brake here, probably for the best. And continuously just letting it slide to the other side. It's an area where, having made snow tires for this car rather than just using tarmac tires with less grip 6 years ago on the Honda NSX, and the better tire physics, oh, and engine physics too, the throttle response and the torque delivery is better. This is more drivable, I think, than the NSX was, even though it's also harder in certain ways. I'm sure people in the comments will say, ah, that's not snow grip, I have a car, I drove it on the snow. But there is actually quite a bit of data that shows that 0.3, 0.4 G is what you get with reasonable winter tires on snow, actual snow. So, and your car doesn't have 600 horsepower and you're not doing 112 miles an hour. Okay, let's go straight. Let's just go straight. It's not hard to go straight, it's just boring. 5th gear, how about 6th gear, Niels? Can you floor it? Oh, you can. Just that weird sense of stability from the gyroscope and the sense of brownness in your pants from all that revs wanting to kill you. Nearly 200. This was beautiful last time, so let's do it in even more style. Go to the right, go to the left. Okay, now how can I get rid? I'm actually surprised how good the brakes work. What was my lap? I didn't see. Too busy going the wrong way. That was a 15 or something, I don't know what it was. So, Nurburgring, McLaren F1, unofficial Automobilista content, of course. Realistic snow grip levels. This is what it will be like. No, nobody would do this. The only realistic part about this is there isn't any. That's the realistic part. So you will be completely insane. But this gives you some idea of, with all sorts of margins forever, just how little power you can get down and how much sliding you're gonna do. And how much you depend on the elevation changes. Let's go out in style though. That won't last long. That's the barrier I'm gonna end. Oh. You see? This much masculinity is way too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and again, like, can you be angry at somebody whose bread and butter depends on selling a computer game, that you don't quite make the snow grip realistic? No, of course you can't, but it's fun to see what it would be like. And everything that's an excuse to take the McLaren F1 out in the simulator is just amazing. We're sort of hypermiling it here. So, there's a high-speed section coming up. That's fun. Now let's do that and then call it a video. I hope everybody had a fun Christmas. All the best for 2020. I love sim racing, physics, I still do. Not really doing anything with Raitsa or anybody else, but it's still very close to my heart, so who knows what will happen in 2020. Oh, that's close to the barrier. I am still all the time in my spare time working on physics tools and spreadsheets and programming, so who knows what will happen. I've got some interesting, hopefully interesting ideas. And of course 2020 will be busy on the hardware front as well with Heusinkveld engineering. I think I'm still here because I just have to crash at this corner. I haven't managed to crash here yet. Oh no, this will be fine. No, we're still good. How am I so talented? Oh no, that's dead. Yeah, that's the end. The 90 degrees. It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. And on that perpetual slide. Thanks for watching, guys. What was the lap though? Let's see. Just wanna hand low. Can we? Yeah, thank you. Oh boy. 15 minutes. 25 seconds and something. Okay guys, enjoy what's left of 2019, enjoy 2020 even more. And we'll see you next year. Bye bye.